Hi, welcome to another episode of Cemeteries Down Under. Today we're in the beautiful picturesque town of Palm Beach. I'm just here on the waterfront on the lakeside, which is called Station Beach, and in the background you'll see the pier that they often do scenes on in Home and Away, and also that's the site where they have Alf's boathouse, his little tinker shop. I'll show you some of the landmarks around Palm Beach, which you'll know as Summer Bay. But the actual locations for the series go everywhere from Newcastle down to the south coast at Wollongong. So I wouldn't be able to show you all of them, but I can put the link of where I found the sites in the information in the video so you can have a peek for yourself. And if you happen to be Aussie like me, you might like to drive out to some of them and have a sneak peek. But I'll show you the ones for Palm Beach today. But this series is a tribute to some of the stars that I have grown up with, and probably you too, and have watched over the years that have sadly passed on. Home and Away started when I was about 12. I'm in my 50s now, so it's been a long running series, and we've seen many stars bloom to superstardom, and sadly some of them have passed. So this episode is a tribute to the ones that are no longer here. Hope you enjoy. And here we are at the Summer Bay Lifesaving Club, also known as the North Palm Beach Lifesaving Club. They've even got one of the life-saving buggies with Summer Bay on the sign. So a lot of the episodes of Home and Away show the beautiful beach of Palm Beach in Sydney. So this is one famous Aussie landmark of one of our beautiful beaches. And you probably recognise that little curve with the trees in the background for the ones that watch the series. So behind us we have Barrenjoey Lighthouse, which we'll go up to later on, which is also one of the locations. And in some of the episodes you'll see the cascading beach where it ends at the wall with the lighthouse behind you. So coming up now, we're going to Summer Bay Surf Club, which is also known as Palm Beach, so North Palm Beach. So we'll film what we can because there's lots of people outside. So here we are at the Summer Bay Surf Lifing Club. Looks like you got patron Al Stewart. How cute. But it looks like they're getting ready to film, so we've got to be careful. So as you can see, they're getting all the props ready to film another episode, and some of these people are on a special tour to meet the stars. So this is the park adjoining the Life Saving Club, and you'll probably get scenes in the park. If you watch Home and Away, you might recognise some of this scenery. So here at Station Beach at Palm Beach, and this little area here is one of the areas they use for Alf's boathouse. and everybody knows the colourful character of Alf. I think he makes the show. And yeah, you can come down here and have lunch at their fancy restaurant overlooking the beautiful water. But they do use this scenery for his boathouse. So this is Barrenjoey Lighthouse up on the hill there. Unfortunately, you cannot drive right up to it. This is where the car park ends, and it's a kilometre walk uphill. I'm still recovering. I was very ill in hospital, so I don't want to risk it today. But I thought I'd show you the lighthouse that's often shown in the Home and Away series. And up there, I would have gotten some good shots overlooking Palm Beach, which you also see in the series. But today I can't risk it. I'm so sorry. I'm still recovering. Okay, up ahead on the left, you'll see some vans here. And they're actually the Home and Away stars' change rooms, believe it or not, where they go over their scripts and they change into their outfits here. If you ever come to Palm Beach for the day, you might spot one or two walking around. And yeah, I think that was one of them. We're just driving past, but we're trying not to be a pest here because we're not on a paid tour. But we've got one last location to show you, and it's coming up very shortly. Stay tuned. So you might recognise this building with the blue and white roof. It's called the Boathouse, and it's actually the Pier Diner. So the diner has been an iconic location of Home and Away, and it's always been a hive of activity for Summer Bay locals, particularly the young ones. And if you're as old as me, you might remember when Marilyn ran her beauty shop in the back room, or when Colleen nearly burnt the whole place down. Do you have a favourite diner show or episode? So starting off with our tributes of our stars that we've lost in Home and Away. If you're as old as I am, you may remember in earlier episodes Catherine Godbold, who played Meg Bowman in 1992. Kathy's time playing the terminally ill Meg was brief but memorable. Dying from leukemia, she had a short but intense relationship with Blake Dean. Her death on the beach in his arms is an iconic moment from the show's early years. But sadly, Kathy's life was also cut short by cancer too. In a horrible case of life imitating art, she died on the 4th of May 2018 from brain cancer, and she was only 43. Now, Kathy lived in Melbourne, so when she passed away, she was buried in Springvale Botanical Cemetery in Dandenong, Victoria, which I provided a screenshot of her lawn plaque. Now, Hollywood star Heath Ledger was also a guest star in Home and Away. And even though he only starred 10 episodes, he made quite the impact as bad boy Scott Irwin. His stories were mainly focused on his romance with Sally Fletcher, played by Kate Ritchie. But extra spice was added when the two were rumoured to be dating in real life. Now, Heath Ledger was not buried but cremated, and his ashes were scattered in his family's plot at Karrakatta Cemetery in Perth, Western Australia, and also some at Cottesloe Beach. A private memorial service was held for him in Perth at Penrith College before the cremation took place. English-born Cornelia Francis was born on the 7th of April 1941 in Liverpool, England. Her uncle was the acclaimed British film director Michael Powell, and her first on-screen appearance was uncredited roles in his films. She moved to Australia in the 1960s, originally basing herself in Perth. Cornelia first appeared on Home and Away in June 1988. She was a magistrate and sister to Alf, Celia and Barbara Stewart. Although there may have been human heart beating somewhere inside Morag, it was frequently hidden by her glorious, acidic one-liners, eye rolls and bitchy behaviour. She made it to the fame opening credits of the show, but left towards the end of 1989. She returned in 1993 after the death of her on-screen daughter Bobby, but was again to be revealed up to no good. She didn't return until 2001. In the years following this, Cornelia was a returning character on the show. In March 2011, she gave an interview to Soap magazine and said she wished Morag would be a full-time character on Home and Away. So Cornelia Francis, corny to her mates, died sadly of cancer on the 28th of May 2018, aged 77. On Find a Grave, her details are unknown. It just says burial details unknown. So I'd say her family wants to keep those details private. So Dieter Brommer was best known for his roles in television soap operas, including playing Shane Parrish in Home and Away from 1992 to 1996. So his character Shane Parrish made its entry in Summer Bay by breaking into Donald Fisher's house, where he is found by his older brother Nick, who lives there with his fiancée Lucinda. Donald's niece Shane discovers Lucinda is cheating on Nick with her ex-boyfriend and begins a campaign against them, culminating in Shane sinking Ryan's car. The role of Shane ended with his death of septicemia caused by an infection that never healed by cutting it on wire. Shane is cremated and his ashes are scattered at sea, and several months later his partner Angel gives birth to a baby girl, naming the child after her father. In real life, Dieter Brommer also fought his own demons and suffered from depression. On a welfare check, was found that Dieter Brommer sadly chose to end his own journey, and he is buried or cremated, and his niche is in Castle Hill Cemetery. So Ben Dennis Unwin, born on the 15th August 1977, was an Australian actor best known for portraying Jessie McGregor, a heartthrob, on television soap opera Home and Away from 1996 until the year 2000, and then he reappeared again as Jessie McGregor from 2002 to 2005. For his portrayal of the role of Jessie McGregor, Unwin in 1997 was nominated for the Logie Award of Most Popular New Talent and for a British National Television Award for Most Popular Newcomer. After Home and Away, he completed a law degree and worked as a senior solicitor in Sydney and then in Newcastle. Unwin was found dead on the 14th of August 2019, one day shy of his 42nd birthday, at his home in Minion Falls, west of Byron Bay. Police would not consider his death, which was reported 6 days later on the 20th of August, to be suspicious. The details of his death to this day is unknown. His burial details on Find a Grave is also unknown, so perhaps his friends and family would like to keep his details private. Rest in peace, Ben. Belinda Emmett was born on the 12th of April 1974 in Gosford, New South Wales on the Central Coast. And in 1995 she joined Home and Away playing Gail, a local fisherman's daughter who fell for Travis Nash, played by Nick Testoni. In 1996, she returned. She became the third actress to play Rebecca Fisher, where she portrayed the daughter of school headmaster Donald Fisher and later the wife of Travis Nash. Belinda was not only beautiful and talented, but she sadly was diagnosed with breast cancer and died on the 11th of November 2006, only 32 years old. After Belinda's death, she was cremated and her ashes are now kept in a beautiful plot in the Rose Quartz Memorial Garden in Palmdale Cemetery in the Central Coast, the backdrop with a beautiful waterfall. And I think it's just a fitting place for such a beautiful, talented actress that tragically died so young. Rest in peace, Belinda. Few people may remember Australian actress Megan Connolly, who was born in 1974, but she sadly passed away in 2001. She temporarily covered Rebecca Nash's Belinda Emmett's role on Home and Away in 1998. Megan was known for several roles in Australian TV series, and she decided to have a break from acting, and sadly at only the age of 27 she was found passed away from a drug overdose. She was cremated and her ashes were scattered at Mackenzie's Point in Tamarama, New South Wales. Annalise Brackenseck was a model, actress and television presenter, businesswoman and activist. She was an ambassador for the Are You OK mental health campaign. She appeared in episode 2430 in July 1998, playing a character called Heavenly. Annalise was not only talented and beautiful, but she also had her own demons to face. And Brackenseck was found dead in her Potts Point apartment, which she had bought in 2018, aged 46, after friends and family had not heard from her for several days. On Find a Grave it just says that she's cremated, but doing a bit of research I found that they held a big memorial from her family and friends at Bondi Beach, so perhaps her ashes were scattered there. John Patrick Rufo was born on the 8th of March 1988. Was an Australian singer, songwriter, musician, dancer, actor and television presenter. He rose to fame after finishing third place on the third season of X Factor Australia. His debut single, On the Top, peaked at number 14 on the ARIA singles chart and was certified platinum. His second single, Take It Home, peaked at number 30 in Australia and earned a gold music certification. In total, he released 7 singles during his career. So Johnny Rufo debuted in Home and Away as Chris Harrington in 2013. He was introduced as the brother of Spencer Harrington, who was played by Andrew Morley. He stayed 3 years playing character Chris Harrington on Home and Away. He left in September 2016 to pursue new challenges. He stated, "I loved my time in Summer Bay. There's a lot more coming up for Chris and I hope fans continue enjoying his time on screen." So Johnny Rufo sadly was diagnosed with brain cancer and underwent surgery in 2017. He fought brain cancer for 6 years. He went into remission in 2019, but sadly in 2020 he announced that it had returned, and it finally took his life in November 2023. So Johnny Rufo was cremated and his ashes were given to his family rather than being buried in a specific location. A public memorial service was held in his hometown of Perth, Western Australia, on November 25, 2023, to celebrate his life. Jessica Falcourt was a beautiful young actress with a very promising career in front of her. Was born on the 15th of May 1988, and she appeared in 16 episodes of the television series Home and Away as Hope Morrison in 2016. On the 26th of December, Boxing Day, Jessica was returning home with her family from a lovely Christmas vacation down at the south coast, and she was involved in a horrific car accident which killed her parents instantly, caused by a drunk driver that was coming on the opposite side of the road and hit their car head on. Jessica and her sister Annabelle was pulled out of the car alive, but then later Annabelle succumbed to brain injuries in Liverpool Hospital, where Jessica was put on life support and had emergency surgery, removing part of her skull. On the 12th of January 2018, her injuries was just too much, and a spokesperson for the St George Hospital in Sydney confirmed that her life support had been turned off, but she remained in a critical condition. She died 5 days later, on the 17th of January, and she was only 29. Jessica is buried with her family in the St Lucia Crypts in Rookwood Cemetery in Sydney. So we're here at Jessica's grave, where she is buried with her family in a crypt, and this is in loving memory of the Falcourt family, tragically taken. It has Lars, Vivian, the family, parents, forever in our hearts, remembered dearly by family and friends. In God's care, rest in peace. Beautiful picture of them all. And Annabelle, and then finally Jessica. What a beautiful picture of happy times. And if there's any Home and Away fans that would like to pay their respects to Jessica and her family, they're in the St Lucia Crypts in Rookwood Cemetery. I'm going to just get these flowers now, put them down the bottom, but these are for you. I hope you're all resting in peace and together once more. God bless. Julian Dana William McMahon was born on the 27th of July 1968. He was the Australian-American actor and was the only son of Sir William McMahon, a former Prime Minister of Australia. In 1990, he starred in Home and Away as character Ben Lassini. In the show, he married a character Carly, who was played by Sharon Hodgkinson. He left the show in 1991 and then starred in other shows such as The Profiler, Charmed, and in Nip Tuck, Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four, and became a well-known actor in USA. Sadly, Julia McMahon only just died this year in July and succumbed to cancer after years of illness. He was only 56, and his remains are cremated, and to date it's unknown what's happened to his ashes. And here are a few other actors that have briefly starred in Home and Away over the years that have also sadly passed. So I hope you enjoyed this episode on Cemeteries Down Under. I will do some more famous graves for you in the coming episodes. Home and Away has always been a family favourite. I remember it coming out when I was 12 years old, so I watched it for a long time and was a big fan myself, and sad to see some of these Aussie favourite actors go. May they all rest in peace, and hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day, everyone.